Thank you for staying. Let's settle for the news up next. And some political parties, led by the new Patriotic Party, are holding a major demonstration today to protest the removal of Chief Justice Gertrude Torkornoo. They argue the move threatens judicial independence and lacks due process. The protest, which organizers stress is about upholding the rule of law rather than misconduct allegations, will begin at the Supreme Court.
We have engaged police. We have discussed in details the route. We will converge at the Supreme Court, the car park opposite the Supreme Court.
Right.
That is where we are going to do the mammoth gathering.
Why there?
We'll converge there, right there. We will present 3 petitions. The first will be presented at the Supreme Court. And then we will proceed through the main street in front of NLA.
Right.
Then get to the High Court Complex roundabout, what they call the Mofa roundabout. Right. That is how the police call it. Then we will take left, march past the High Court Complex, the Law House. Then we'll go in front of the Ministry's police station. At the traffic light, we turn right. Then we proceed through the main Ministry's route, through the sports stadium. We go around the sports stadium. We take the military cemetery. Then we'll do the second presentation at Parliament. Then we'll proceed to the roundabout. We take right to Akwaje interchange. Then we'll do the final presentation of petition at the Jubilee House.
Okay.
That is where we'll bring everything to an end. But this is going to be the first of the many activities, protests. That
will be undertaken. But the question that is on the minds of people. I mean, what law has been broken that has necessitated this protest that you intend holding on Monday?
You see, the fact is that this whole thing is a political gimmick. It is something well calculated and being implemented. Look, you have the national chairman of the NDC running from one radio.
We apologize for the poor quality of sound at the tail end of that conversation. But like I said at the start of the show, we're going to be on the ground, and my colleague Michael Ashali is live at the assembly point. He joins me now on phone. Mike, what's the atmosphere there right now? What do you see around you? Are there many people lining up for the demonstration?
Yes, Benjamin Akako, we have been here since 5 a.m. I'll definitely be bringing you all the updates in all our bulletins. This is the place to be and to watch. Currently, we are at the frontage of the Supreme Court, where already, and I'll show you, scores of protesters already. As early as 5 a.m. when I got here, many of them had already gathered, waiting to add their voice to what the MPP has already been saying since the processes that triggered to remove Chief Justice Gertrude Torkornoo started, and will be all over this beat all over the day.
Well, tell me, have you spotted any of the MPP bigwigs as of yet?
Well, bigwigs, personally, I have not seen any one of them, except for Okoboy, who represented the MPP in the Lejokuku constituency in the 2024 parliamentary elections. Is one of the few that I have seen, but clearly, if you call any of the leadership, they tell you that to still mobilize 1 or 2 things. But this is a demonstration that they promised, and many more people are here, and some of them are arriving by the minute. And you can see that just across the street, many more people seated just over there, with some buses still people disembarking from it here. It promises to be a mammoth demonstration today. And the MPP said that they are submitting at least 3 petitions, one to the judiciary, which will be at the Supreme Court, and then another to the Parliament, and then the final one will be given to President John Dramani Mahama himself at the seat of government, Jubilee House, later in the day.
Oh, Papani Michael Ashali, thank you so much for bringing us the scoop there. Like he said, in terms of the bigwigs, the only one he can see there is the former NHIS boss and also contestant in the Lejokuku constituency, Bernard Okoboy. On now, you may call it once bitten, twice shy, because that is the story of victims of a series of fires in the dummy market. Fire ravaged stores in the market on at least 5 occasions in the last decade, destroying goods worth thousands of cedis. As the victims recover gradually from their losses, they are also putting measures in place, including the installation of extinguishers and ensuring their businesses against any future eventualities. James Aveji went back to the dummy market and tells the rest of the story in today's episode of our Fire series.
This was in 2018 when fire swept through tens of shops in the Domin market in the late hours of January 31, 2018.
So we are here at the Domin market where we understand fire gutted the market, portions of the market. 15 containers we understand have been affected. As you can see, the fire attendants here, the fire service is here to douse the flame.
What was left behind the next day was ashes of traders' hard-earned investments. The then MC for Ghanese, Janet Mensah, suspected arson in this incident.
In the tree dilate near Besi. After granting that interview with the journalist, 30 minutes on, this thing happened. So, to conclude, then it was a deliberate thing.
2 years later, in August 2020, there was another fire incident, which some said was the 4th in a decade, and then a 5th and most recent on January 7, 2024. Elvis Nyako and Martha Ahin, also known as Mamiefia, were some victims of this incident.
I sell children and unisex clothing. I had 4 bales of clothes I hadn't even opened. Everything got burnt. I didn't even pick a single shirt.
Elvis and his wife lost 2 warehouses full of over 800,000 cedis worth of provisions at the top floor of this story building.
So it was huge because it was around November, December, my container has come. So I stocked for the Christmas. So I sold a little. I sold a little. So it was a huge stock that I had at that time. And everything. I picked only about 5% of it. It was huge. And when we finished, and then the next day, which was on the 8th, which is Monday, we came trying to sort things out. It wasn't easy. And it was people's goods, supplies from other various warehouses that they've supplied me. It was roughly around 800,000 thereabout. That got
800,000 Ghanas.
Yes.
The debt, Elvis tells me, is yet to finish paying.
It's not easy. It's not easy at all. Sometimes they will be calling you, coming here, giving you pressure. They need their money. And you need to pay them back. They don't care about fire because they gave you goods. You need to pay them. Some will understand you, but to what extent? It's not easy. Still, I'm still paying, and they are still giving me pressure, but I'm on it.
On the many occasions of these fires, promises of financial assistance were made by authorities, most which are yet to be fulfilled.
Some authorities came to see the destruction and made promises, but nothing came out of it. Things have been difficult because many of us were running our businesses on loans. We had to manage bit by bit to get back on our feet because no help came from anyone.
As our fire victims here continue to hold on to hope for help to come someday, happenings of the past events have at least taught them to take destiny into their own hands.
At my own, I've insured my shop. I have a fire extinguisher. Everything is in place. Yes.
We are scared, but there isn't much we can do. Instead of bringing all our goods to the market, we now bring only a portion just in case. We are now measured in the quantity of goods we store at the market.
But even in the face of the disappointment, they still need this help desperately.
We need help. That's what I can say, because we don't know whether another thing will happen again. We are praying that no, it won't happen. But now, still, we are still in need. We need help. Maybe I'm speaking for everybody, because I hear people talking. They are still, because people went for loan. You'll be here, they'll come, and they need their money, and people are not paying. So we need help. Even if 5% or whatever percent, it's to help us.
The victims of the series of the dummy fire market, especially those of them who lost hundreds of thousands of cedis to the fire, are still waiting on government to fulfill its numerous promises to them. But till then, they are still rebuilding, hoping not to revisit the dark days again. From the dummy market here in Accra, I'm James Savage reporting for Joy News.
Now, Speaker of Parliament Alban Bagbin says he will continue to champion the national response towards ending the dialysis crisis in the country. Currently, fewer than 400 dialysis machines are actively working in only 9 out of 16 regions, prompting widespread public demand for government to focus on new interventions for renal patients. Late last year, the National Health Insurance Scheme resolved to settle 200 million cedis in claims for dialysis treatment. However, speaking at the commissioning of a dialysis center built by non-profit agency, Sustainable Health Education and Interventions, the Speaker called for a collective push to improve healthcare delivery.
As Ghana grapples with the national dialysis crisis, many public health facilities are in search of logistical support to ease the burden on renal patients. The Tetekwashi Memorial Hospital in the Eastern Region is the latest public health facility to benefit from a dialysis center built by non-profit group Shield and commissioned by Speaker of Parliament Alban Bagbin, who says he is passionate about the national response to the dialysis crisis.
Statistics show that nearly 14% of the over 30 million Ghanaians are suffering from chronic kidney disease. That is an estimate of 4 million Ghanaians. Only 1 in 10 patients currently access life-saving dialysis due to cost and distant barriers. Less than 20 nephrologists are available in the entire 16 regions of the country. Fewer than 400 dialysis machines serve the entire country. As the Speaker of Parliament, I will continue to champion the national response to chronic kidney disease.
In line with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, the management of non-profit group Sustainable Health Education and Interventions Shield says they are on a mission to ensure that no one is left behind when it comes to healthcare.
It was our role to look for individual sponsors who in their own way also wanted to assist. So it's been a very hectic time, but I think the result is amazing. And we are so happy that we've reached this stage. And just to add, we also were the ones who set up the police hospital dialysis unit. So we come with quite a bit of experience and also quite a lot of hope. You see, access to health is something that should be there for everybody. Equity, access, and quality healthcare. And that is what drives the NGO Shield.
Traditional leaders, together with management and other stakeholders of the Tetekwashi Memorial Hospital, are certain that this new facility will ease the burden of care on renal patients, especially those in the Eastern Region.
They once destroyed the very rivers that sustained their communities, digging deep for gold in a trade they now call a mistake. Now in universities, illegal miners, some of them barely out of their teens, are speaking out, not with pride, but with regret. 2 of them, a 24-year-old and 27-year-old university students, open up to Joy News' Mohammed Nuruddin about a life shaped by galamsey, the mysterious deaths of close friends, and their new mission, to right the wrongs of the past. They say some of their colleagues in other institutions want to make amends for past mistakes. Here's our special report, The Galamseyers' Regret.
You've been in Galamsey for how many years, and why have you decided to go into Galamsey? Thank you for the question. I think I'm not into Galamsey because I like working. On the 14th of October 2016, I lost both my parents. They were catering of my education. So when I lost them, I have nobody to take care of me. So I need to link myself to Galamsey so that I can able to continue with my education. I think that is the reason why I'm entering into Galamsey activities.
But you're aware that Galamsey is destroying our water bodies and our water land?
Yes, please. I'm aware that Galamsey activities is destroying our water bodies, our lands.
They dug for gold in silence, but now their voices are breaking that silence with regret. For years, these young men survived through illegal mining, popularly known as Galamsey. It paid their school fees, put food on the table, and gave them a future. But it came at a cost to Ghana's rivers and forest. 24-year-old Yao Atta, not his real name, is now a university student, but he says the money that paid for his education was choked in mud and mystery. Several of his friends died under strange and unexplainable circumstances while working at illegal mining sites.
Do you have members who have died through this Galamsey, and some of them who are in critical condition, maybe sick in the hospital or in the houses?
Yes, for the past years I've been entering into Galamsey. A lot of my friends lost their life. Some of them turned into drug abuse, a lot of child trafficking, prostitution. Some of them even fell sick and they cannot work again. They have to send them to their various houses.
Now studying Bachelor of Education in Early Childhood, Yao is not just turning away from Galamsey, he's hoping to lead the campaign against it.
So do you regret going into Galamsey and the fact that these activities destroy our forests, our water body, and even our land?
Yeah, I'm deeply regretful for that. Because when I sit down to realize what we have been doing at the Galamsey sectors, for the next 10 years to come, our children, our beloved brothers and sisters, how to even get water to drink will be a problem. And to get a very good land to farm is also one of the big problems that we have faced for the past years to come. I think if I'm able to get support from NGOs to support with my education, I think I'll be very happy to hear that. And also, I think if I also be a member to be campaigning against Galamsey activities, I will be very glad about it.
He says his education has opened his eyes to what he calls a crime against nature.
So if they give you the opportunity to say a word to communities where you've mined, communities where you did the illegal mining, and now they don't have good water to drink, their forest is being destroyed, what would you tell them?
I'll first let them know that I'm coming there for them to forgive me of what I have done for the past years. I will tell them that I have been there for several times for years, and I know the importance of water and the importance of our lands and the vegetation that we have. I think I'll educate them on how we are going to protect our lands, our water bodies.
Yao is not alone. Other students who are into Galamsey are now holding their books and dreams. They say it is time for a new movement to protect what they once helped destroy. Here is 27-year-old Kojo Majid, not his real name. He's a third-year BSc Electricals and Electronics Engineering student.
Do you regret that you guys have destroyed water bodies and forests?
Yes, sir.
Why do you regret?
Because due to the this time around, the way the rain used to, it used to rain, and at first it's totally different. And this thing is also caused by the trees that we have been cutting down and this thing. the land that we have been destroying, that leads to how nowadays the rainfall, it is not as compared to the first.
Now, what is your goal now? Do you intend doing something to protect the forest or to even restore the damage you've caused?
Yeah, I'll also do something in order to stop it. I'll encourage my young ones, those that are working there, to also stop due to the damage that we are getting to the environment.
From polluters to protectors, these young Ghanaians want to rewrite their stories. Their past is painful, but their message gives hope to the future. With support, they say they can become part of the solution. They were once buried in the mud of Galamsey, but today they are rising with purpose. One voice, one lesson, and one promise at a time. A report by Mohammed Nuruddin.
From regret and restoration, let's talk about love, specifically motherly love. As we gear up to celebrate Mother's Day this weekend, your superstation, Joy FM, is giving mothers a magical safari day out on Saturday, May the 10th, at the breathtaking Safari Valley Eco Resort. This getaway promises to be full of unforgettable joy as you watch Mama smile from her heart. General Manager for Sales and Marketing here at the Multimedia Group Limited, Max Fuga, tells us about this innovative way of saying thank you to Mama.
Mothers go through a lot of things.
Yeah.
I mean, they sacrifice, they do all sorts of things to see us through school, to see us through life. And even when we start working and we are making family, we have our own family, they are still there for us.
That's true.
They guide us.
Yeah.
How can we celebrate them? How can we say thank you to them? Look, sometimes, yeah, words, oh, thank you, Mom. Mom, I love you. Mom, you're there for me. Mom, you are my pillar. Mom, you are my hero. We have said all those things. But I believe that there can be other unique ways to celebrate our moms.
Beyond the words. They
Beyond
would love
just the
some
words, beyond
experiences,
the cake.
great
and so
memories.
this year, we want to give them the experience.
Okay, that's nice.
And so we went to Safari Valley Eco Park, and they've agreed to partner us on this project.
Safari Valley?
Of all places.
Wow.
Safari Valley Eco Park.
That's top tier.
Super.
That's top tier.
Super. And for me, that is the best way and a unique way for us to celebrate our mothers this year. And again, instead of going there on the Sunday, we have decided to do Saturday.
Oh wow! Okay.
So the Safari Valley, the Mom's Day Out, is going to take place on a Saturday.
On a Saturday, okay. That's just the day before Mother's Day.
Exactly, May 10th. Just before Mother's Day, which is the May 11th. Okay. Now, why Saturday? Because we believe that, look, Sundays, people want to go to church, people want to go and
the mothers themselves, they want to go for
church.
women's fellowship.
Our mothers are religious.
Women's fellowship.
And a lot of churches will celebrate Women's Day on that day anyway.
Exactly. Yeah, okay. That's true.
I am an Assemblies of God person. I know normally Women's Day is the day we do the Mother's Day is the day they do the Women's Ministry Day and all those things. So there will be a lot of activities on that day. And our mothers themselves want to go to church and thank God.
Okay.
So we said, okay, Saturday, the whole day. Use it to celebrate your mom.
Wow.
Okay. First of all, there will be a guided tour of the place. First, there will be a welcoming session where we welcome all the mothers and those who paid for them to be there. Obviously, if you want your mother to go, you are not just going to pay for your mom. You want to be with your mom.
Yeah.
And so there will be a guided tour of all our patrons. And then, after the guided tour, we're going to... during the tour, they get to see some of the animals that they've never seen. They've even taught us in books, but they've never had the opportunity of seeing them, coming very close to them. And so there will be the guided tour, the zebras, there will be all the animals that you can think of. Then we're going to... There's also an opportunity for boat cruising, there'll be an opportunity for horse riding, and a lot of outdoor games.
A fun day.
There's a fun day. And you see, some of the mothers, maybe young mothers can do the horse riding, but I'm sure if my mother were to be alive, she wouldn't do that, but she'll get to see all the wild animals, the wildlife that they have there. Beyond that, we're going to also provide live band.
Oh, I see. So it's like a whole celebration thingy,
there's
a whole
experience.
program.
It's just the experience.
Set up.
Get your mother to come and experience. So
okay.
There's a guided tour, there is a buffet, and then there's a live band for them to dance to. And again, a lot of giveaways from our sponsors.
Well, from there, we head into our business updates up next. Executive Director for Wholesale Banking at Access Bank, James Bruce, is calling for the country to position itself as a manufacturing hub to attract businesses from America. His call comes after U.S. President Donald Trump imposed heavy tariffs on countries in Asia where over 50% of global manufacturing takes place. He believes that countries such as Ghana stand to gain, considering the low tariff rates of 10% compared to that of Asia, ranging from 30 to over 60%. Mr. Bruce spoke to Joy Business at a trade forum held in Accra.
You have to look at it from both a risk point of view and an opportunity point of view. So let me use a scenario. If you are a Far East Asian country and you produce textiles for the United States, the tariffs for the Far East Asian countries are between 50 to 60%, China being the highest. The tariff for Ghana is 10%. So what's going to happen? It will be cheaper for investment to move from Asia to Ghana to produce T-shirts, clothes, shoes and everything for it to be exported to the United States at 10%. So that's an opportunity. Now the question here is, do we export enough for America to slap tariffs on us? Not necessarily. And traditionally, we haven't been a significant trade partner to them, apart from chocolate and gold. So for us as a risk, there's a risk there, but it's not significant that will shut the economy. But the opportunity side is far larger for companies in China, in Vietnam, Taiwan to move and produce here and take advantage. We already had AGOA, where our textiles were going for free. Now it's going to go to 10%. So it's an opportunity for us.
So you think government should be targeting those industries there?
I think government is already talking about it now. I mean, you hear about reducing our import bill for chicken from 400 million. You hear about coding, which means that if we're creating 1,000 coders, they are going to be creating software, they are going to be helping do chips and everything. So government is the right direction. The key thing is that the private sector works with government together with regulation and the financial institutions. And then we can take advantage. It's an opportunity from where I sit. The risk, minimal, but it's an opportunity if we are going to take the right bets for me.
The UK-Ghana Chamber of Commerce has reaffirmed its commitment to strengthening its position as a strong link between businesses in Ghana and the UK. Speaking to Joy Business, Executive Director Ajoba Chiama said the Chamber would continue to roll out various initiatives to support local members.
Thing that we do at the UK-Ghana Chamber of Commerce, where every quarter we host a fun networking event. In between, we also organize our capacity building programs. Some of them are in person, some of them are virtual. And we also host sector committee meetings where member companies can meet to discuss issues that are affecting their businesses so that we can undertake some advocacy work for them. So tonight is just fun and networking. The first quarter of 2025 has been mixed. I think I'm always saying it's been mixed. So in some ways it's been good. We've been very busy. We've run a number of programs. And so, yes, in that regard, it's been very, very active.
And that's how we cap off our business updates and the overall news. You want to stick and stay for the news review up next.